since the crack of dawn. Just trying to get paid. Been hotter than 100 suns. I can't find no shade. Just 2 more rows and I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm shutting this tractor down. Give me a half an hour for a shave and a shower, and I'll be outside your house. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight. Hard as I worked all day, I'm gonna work harder loving on you. Spin you all over that dance floor, right out of them high heel shoes. And when you're ready to quit, baby, we can slip right out of that barroom door. And when I take you home, don't worry, babe, I'm gonna kick them off on the porch. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight. Got a little dirt on my boots. Little dirty dancing, blue collar romancing. I can get cleaned up if you ask me, but I can only get so fancy. Got a little dirt on my boots, but I'm taking you uptown tonight. Might have a little mud on my wheels, but they gonna shine with you up inside. Gonna hit the club, gonna cut a rug, burn it up like neon lights. Might have a little dirt on my boots, but we're gonna dance the dust right off them tonight. Got a little dirt on my boots. Got a little dirt on my boots. Got a little dirt on my boots.
I'll be the last one standing, 2 hands in the air, I'm a champion. You'll be looking up at me when it's over. I live for the battle, I'm a soldier. Yeah, I'm a fighter like Rocky. Put your flag on your back like Ali. Yeah, I'm the greatest, I'm stronger. Bet my dues, can't lose, I'ma own ya. Hey, I've been working my whole life, and now it's do or die. I
The C is for the courage I possess through the drama. H is for the hurt, but it's all for the honor. A is for my attitude, working through the patience. Money comes and goes, so the M is for motivation. Gotta stay consistent, the P is to persevere. The I is for integrity, innovative career. The O is optimistic, open and never shut. And the N is necessary, cause I'm never giving up. See, they ask me how I did it, I just did it from the heart. Crushing the competition, been doing it from the start. They say that every champion is all about his principles. Carry.
I am invincible, unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You're gonna know my name. You can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this. Yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
Yeah. Surpassed all rivals. It's all about who wants it the most. Fight for what we believe in. That's what champions are made of. Yeah. Champion.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down here the line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV for round number 13 or 14, the penultimate round of the American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Car Series. Tonight, we come to the dirt track at Charlotte in North Carolina. Before next week, we head to the Federated Auto Parts at I-55 Speedway for the season finale. But before we get to Federated Auto Parts I-55 next week, we come to the dirt track at Charlotte for round 13 of 14. As we get set, we are already halfway through qualifying as we take a look at the qualifying on the left-hand side of your screen. And well, let's take a good look at some of the drivers on the racetrack. Jeffrey Newbert in caliber 13 trying to chase down the time of 12.708 set by Nicholas McGeethy. Tommy Scott Jr. second quick with a 12.709. Matt Grimm with a 12.710. So 2/1000th of a second separate your top three. Brent Hobbs with a 12.723. Brian Hawks with a 12.741. Jeffrey Newbert goes sixth quick with a 12.746. Stephen Lindo in the 214 machine, taking the first of his 2 laps in the Boneheads podcast, Dirtco Media House, car number 214. We wait for the first time to come through for Stephen Lindo. Should be able to get both of the qualifying laps in. Lap number 1 for Lindo is going to be 25th quick with a 13.262 with a 13.262. As you can see, 26 cars have taken time. Lindo on lap number 2 will stop it with a 13.243. So qualifying is done. We'll bring up your qualifying results just now on screen. So it is done. It's official. Nicholas McGeethy goes quick time with a 12.708. Tommy Scott Jr. Matt Grimm will be your top 3. Brent Hobbs, Brian Hawks, your top 5. Jeffrey Newbert, Greg Leonard, Eric Whitner, Cameron Pritchard, and Kenny Hoffman will be your drivers in the top 10. 3 heat races on the program, 10 laps of distance. Top 4 go through to the main event. Everybody else will go through to the last chance qualifiers, which will be known as B main 1, B main number 2. In fact, it should only be 1 B main. But here is your starting grid. For heat race number 1, Nicholas McGeethy lines up the 73 from position number 1. Position number 2, driving the 64 machine, that'll be Brent Hobbs. Rolling off inside your second row from position number 3, it's the 94 of Greg Leonard, who is outside. Driving the 11 car from position number 4, it's Kenny Hoffman. Donald Tulos lines up the 99 from position number 5, and Craig Silby will pilot the 7 machine from position number 6. Rylan Gray driving the 06 will start from position number 7. Position number 8 with the 79 entry of Dean Reynolds. And Stephen Lindo was the man we last saw, the last car in qualifying, driving the 214 machine, will roll off out of position number 9. Heat number 1, round 13 of the American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Cars from the dirt track at Charlotte. Penultimate round of the season. And out of these 13 weeks so far, I think we've covered 9, maybe 10 of them. Certainly covered quite a few, and we've seen some fantastic racing throughout the season. Here we go, heat race number 1. American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars, round 13. Here at the dirt track at Charlotte, we go racing off turn number 4. And no surprise to see Nicholas McGeethy get the jump over Greg Leonard, who now finds himself into the runner-up position. Brent Hobbs going to battle himself wheel to wheel through 3 and 4 with Kenny Hoffman in that number 1 machine. Then you go back to Rylan Gray, sitting in that 5th position on the outside, looking in top 4. Remember, go straight through to the main event. Gray trying to go up the inside there on Kenny Hoffman, but Hoffman was able to keep that car on to the bottom part of the racetrack on the entry down into turn 3 as we work through 1 and 2. McGeethy just shy of 2/10 of a second lead over Greg Leonard. Brent Hobbs still runs in the 3rd position. 4th will go to Kenny Hoffman. Rylan Gray sitting in 5th position. Then you go back to Craig Silby trying to move forward. Remember, top 4 to the main event. Everybody else will go through to 1 of 2, or potentially 2 last chance qualifiers. 4 down, 6 to run. Track pretty locked down at the bottom. Oh no! Hoffman got into the back of Hobbs. He'll lose 1 and 2 positions. Might lose 3. Oh, slider coming out from Selby there. Was definitely not clear. And there was definitely right rear to left front contact. Now a little bit of, I wouldn't say payback, but maybe a taste of your own medicine. That'll put Dean Reynolds up to position number 5 as Leonard still trying to track down your race leader of Nicholas McGeethy through 1 and 2. Hoffman now battling with Reynolds. They work down the back straight away. Some contact down into turn number 3. That was left rear to right front. Now here comes Selby. Back with a move on Dean Reynolds down into 1 and 2. Keep an eye on Stephen Lindo and that 2:14 machine. He started dead last in this field with just 2 laps left to run. It is still McGeethy leading the way, although I gotta say, Greg Leonard, he's coming thick and fast, goes to the middle of the racetrack, to the outside he goes, and he's just got tubbed on the outside. Greg Leonard takes over the race lead here with 1 to go as they work down the back straight away. Into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time, starting on pole, your 30-lap main event is going to be Greg Leonard. He will get the win. Nicholas McGeethy home in second. Third, we'll go to Brent Hobbs. Kenny Hoffman will grab the 4th and final transfer position. Craig Selby comes home 15, Reynolds 6, Stephen Lindo, Donald Toulos and Ryland Gray will make up drivers in heat race number 1. So wait for the official results to come through. There they are. Leonard, McGeethy, Hobbs and Hoffman will lock themselves into your 30-lap main event later on this evening. Everybody else, well, they will go to the last chance showdowns, the B-mains. Heat number 2, making their way onto the racetrack behind the iRacing.com official pace car. And they will line up like this. Tommy Scott Jr. lines up the 04 machine from the pole position and to the outside of your front row. Brian Ox driving car number 023 will start from position number 2. Eric Whitner in car 17 will roll off at a position number 3. Robert Crawley in car 35 will start from position number 4. Chisholm Burns lines up at a position number 5. Christopher Schaefer from position number 6 in car 23. Landon Crawley driving the 88 machine will start from position number 7. From position number 8, it's the 26 entry of Cody Malley and Tracy Burns will start from position number 9. 2 Burns, 2 Crawleys in heat race number 2. So winner of heat number 2 will find themselves outside your front row for tonight's main event. Second place will start 5th. Then you'll go to 8th for third place finisher. And what should be position number 11 for your 4th place finisher. We'll take the top 5 from the 2B mains. Heat number 2, American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars are in action here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Tommy Scott Jr. got a heck of a jump on the field as they go green flag down into turn number 1 and 2. Brian Orks has immediately got past there by Eric Whitner, but now Orks now going to fight back up on the inside, but Whitner around the outside trying to tub him. Orks moved up a little bit and that at the course. That checked up the 17 machine. Look out, Landon Crawley going to move his way to position number 3. Cody Malley in the 26. Trying to get something happening here in heat race number 2. Malley started 8th, he's up to 5th, so +3 in just 2 laps than the 26. He's looking to go further. Look out, contact between Crawley and Ox is going to go upside down. We are going to go yellow. So Brian Ox in the 023 machine will be the reason that the yellows are on for the first time tonight. Your NLRA instant replay. So Crawley goes down to the inside. Hawks tries to come down, protect that line. And Brian Hawks going to go upside down. He'll should be able to go to the pits and get a quick repair. So Landon Crawley in the 187 machine going to go to the tail end of the field, along with the 23 of Brian Hawks. As we sit on, I dare say, 2 to green. But Tommy Scott Jr. doing the Dirty Sense 04 machine. We'll have Eric Whitner. That'll elevate Cody Malley up to position number 3. Robert Crawley now be in fourth. Lights are out. Field doubles up. Once again, here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Whitner's going to have to be on his A game to time this start from the pole sitter of Tommy Scott Jr. Pace starts to pick it up. We're back underway. Heat 2, lap 3 is done, 7 to go. Whitner, Malley and Robert Crawley. Crawley around the outside. There was some contact with Crawley and Malley. Here comes Burns, is up to position number 5. It's where he started. Fell back and now he's made his way back to position number 5. Watching Robert Crawley in the 35 machine. Hold down the 4th and final transfer position. Meanwhile, Landon Crawley found his way back to position number 6. Meanwhile, challenge coming up for the race lead because here comes Eric Whitner in car number 17. Trying to get back by Tommy Scott for that race lead. Tommy Scott Jr. started from the pole position to the cushion right up in the marbles. Goes the 17 entry of Eric Whitner as they work down the back straightaway. Scott protecting at all cost here in heat race number 2. Now goes up into the fluffy stuff into 1 and 2. Back to the bottom and sliding it. Somewhat of a little slider line through 3 and 4. Now driving away from the 17 machine of Eric Whitner. Keep an eye on that gap. It is just under 3/10 of a second. And if Whitner has his way, although I think time's running out, white flag is out. 1 lap left to go. 3/10 of a second. It would have to be an almighty effort to get by into the race lead here on the final 2 turns. Not going to happen. Into turns 3, out of turn number 4. Tommy Scott Jr. will win heat race number 2. Eric Whitner will come home second. Cody Malley will grab third. Chisholm Burns will grab the 4th and final transfer position. 5th will go to Robert Crawley. Landon Crawley home in 6. Heat 2 official results coming up on screen. So Scott, Whitner, Malley and Burns go through. For Crawley, Robert and Landon come home 5th and 6th, along with Tracy Burns, Brian Hawks and Christopher Schaefer. Those drivers going to our last chance qualifiers. Heat number 3 will line up like this, and starting on the pole position, driving car number 91, that's Matt Grimm. To the outside of the front row, piloting the 13 or the 213, that's Jeffrey Newbert from position number 2. Cameron Pritchard rolls up the 21 machine from position number 3. Casey Simons in the 54 will start outside the second row from position number 4. Andy Patton drives the 87. He'll start from position number 5. Driving the Black Diamond Motorsports car number 91 machine from position number 6. Old Boomhauer, Ernie Williams Jr. Dustin Sargent lines up the 77 from position number 7. And Rick Main will pilot the 187 machine from position number 8. Heat number 3, final heat race of the night. Before we go, last chance qualifier racing. 2B mains. There should be 15 laps in distance. Top 5 from each of those B mains will go on to make a 22 car field here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Heat 3, rolling through turn number 1 and 2. Remember Wednesday night, if you like wingless sprint cars, 360 wingless sprints, American Dirt Series will have their action, providing they get a car count of 10 or more. We'll have their action live right here on Ultimate Dirt TV, live across the social media pages. Ready to go racing. Heat number 3, final heat race of the night. And it'll be Matt Grimm to lead the field to the start-finish time. We work down the back straight away. Keep an eye on Casey Simons and also Ernie Williams Jr. So that's the 54, the black and blue, and then the yellow and blue 91 machine. Keep an eye on those guys to work to the cushion through 1 and 2. Simons, Newbert, there was some contact. Williams is going to go to position number 4. Now trying to come up to that 3rd place spot. Andy Patton going to go around. And we are yellow. Let's take a look at what happened here. Your NLRA instant replay coming up on screen. So the 87 slides up. Just in front of Simons in the 54. And then Patton turns the 87 car around. But there was a challenge up for the race lead. In fact, there was a change for that race lead because, well, Cameron Pritchard in the 21 machine had gotten by Matt Grimm in the 91. It's the black and green car out in front. But courtesy of that yellow coming out, means we go back to the last recorded lap, which means, of course, Matt Grimm will have control of the field on the restart. We sit at 2 to green. Once the field doubles up, it goes to 2 by 2. Andy Patton out of heat race number 3. So just the 7 cars left remaining in your final heat race of the night. 15 lap B mains coming up next. In fact, there might only just be one. Should be a 14 car field with top 10 going through. Unless they split them into dual B mains of 7 apiece, which we will take the top 5. Of course, we will still make up the inside and outside rows from positions number 13 all the way through to position number 22. Green flag back out on the racetrack. Heat number 3 is back up upon us. 3 wide as we go down through the first and second turn. Williams has found his way to position number 3. Going to slide up in front of Jeffrey Newman now. Going to try and look back to the inside. Going to try and reclaim that 3rd position. He'll slide up in front of Ernie Williams Jr. Meanwhile, challenges up for the race lead because here comes Cameron Pritchard. Slide job down into turn number 3 and 4. Pritchard, Grimm, side by side, give lap number 5 lap leader to the 21 entry of Cameron Pritchard. Grimm with a long slider through turn number 1 and 2. If Grimm and Pritchard are not careful, the 91 machine of Ernie Williams Jr. Man, he's real quick around the dirt track at Charlotte as Grimm going to look to slide up in front of Pritchard, but Pritchard's too good on the top side of the racetrack. Williams cuts it back down from the top to the bottom, down the back straightaway into 3. Out of turn number 4, Ernie Williams Jr. has found his way to the runner-up position. Here comes Grimm. Grimm trying to force Williams into a mistake, but Ernie Williams Jr. sets his sights on the tail, taking the 21 machine. 2 laps left to run. Just under 3/10 of a second. Can he really win? He's got some speed through turn number 1 and 2. 2 and a bit tenth of a second as they work down into turn number 3. Wide flag is out. 1 lap left to run for the 21 machine of Cameron Pritchard. He'll go through 1 and 2. All barring any mistake in 3 and 4. He should have this one locked up. Signed, sealed and delivered. Heat race number 3 victory will go to the 21 entry of Cameron Pritchard. Ernie Williams Jr. will come home second. Matt Grimm will find himself in 3rd position. Dustin Sargent will come home in that all-important 4th and final transfer position. Just the 1B main on the program. Heat number 3 results coming up on screen. Cameron Pritchard, Ernie Williams Jr., Matt Grimm and Dustin Sargent going to your 30-lap feature. For the likes of Jeffrey Newman, Casey Simons, Rick Main, and Andy Patton, those drivers going to be locked in your B main coming up now. And that B main starting grid for 14 drivers will line up like this. From the pole position, driving car number 7, that's Craig Selby. To the outside of the front row, it's Robert Crawley from position number 2. Position number 3, driving the 13 machine, that's Jeffrey Newman from position number 4. Driving the 79 entry, that is Dean Reynolds. Landon Crawley rolls off out of position number 5. Casey Simons in the 54 will start from position number 6. Position number 7 with the 214 entry of Stephen Lindo. To the outside, Tracy Burns from position number 8. Position number 9, driving the 187 machine, that is Rick Main from position number 10, Donald Tulos. Brian Hawks in the 23 will start from position number 11. From position number 12, it's the 87 of Andy Patton. Position number 13, it'll be Rylan Gray. Position number 14, it's Christopher Schaefer. I can confirm Casey Simons, who was scheduled to line up at a position number 6, missed the call for the B main. So that will put 13 cars on the racetrack. Top 10 will go through to your 40-lap main event. Again, we have a warm-up session after. Oh, in fact, I don't know if we do actually. Yes, we might have a 3 or 5 minute warm-up session, so we are certainly going to see what happens after this B main. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here to Ultimate Dirt TV, penultimate round of the season. The American Dirt Series 360 winged sprint cars. Ready to do battle here at Charlotte. Green flag is out. Last chance qualifier. 12 laps is the distance. Top 10 will go through for the 13 cars. They work through 1 and 2. Dean Reynolds fending up the challenge from the 187 entry of Landon Crawley. Crawley going to slide up in front of Reynolds. Reynolds tucks in behind the 187 machine as they work on your first lap complete. 12 lap affair. Crawley trying to come after Newman, who's finding himself in a Crawley sandwich. Robert Crawley in second. Now Landon Crawley will move to position number 3 into turn number 1 and 2. But Newman back to the inside we go as they race down into turn number 3 and 4. Newman and Landon Crawley. Landon Crawley has the 3rd position. Craig Silby, your race leader, half a second. We are yellow in B main action. Stephen Lindo in the 14. What's going on, Fergie? Stephen Lindo in car 214. Find himself at the center of attention in your caution, your NLRA instant replay. Just battles with the 99 entry, and he goes almost upside down. That 214 car will bring on the caution flags in your B main. So caution laps not counting here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Craig Silby. Pretty sure Craig had a podium, I want to say at Lania, I think it might have been. We go do some investigating. I'm pretty sure it was at Lania. Or was it Knoxville? I'm 99% sure that he has had a podium. Lights are out. Ready one more time. No, in fact, it was last week at Weedsport. There we go. So I knew he had a podium. Just unsure of the track. 3 wide as we go down into turn number 1 and 2 on the restart. Oh, look out, Ryland Gray. Oh, we are yellow. Newbert involved in that one. Crawley in the 35. That's Robert Crawley upside down. Stephen Lindo in the 214 as well. And a tough break for some of these drivers. Jeffrey Newbert, one of those drivers. Let's take a look at the NLRA instant replay. No, maybe we're not going to. Doesn't want to play ball. Alright, so NLRA instant replay does not want to work. Oh, bear with me. apologies about that. We go back racing. B main once again will resume working on our 6th lap. So it'll be 6 down, 6 to run. The B main, the battle is on for the race lead. Craig Silvey, Landon Crawley. Silvey slides up in front of Crawley. Landon Crawley turns it back underneath him down the back straightaway. Landon Crawley from position number 5. How about Ryland Gray from the 13th starting position? He's up to position number 3. Silvey with a slide jump. There's contact right rear to left front again. That'll bring the 06 now of Ryland Gray. Dean Reynolds in the 79. Trying to find his way forward to a better starting position in tonight's main event. Gray to the inside on Crawley, side by side through 1 and 2. Ox and Reynolds side by side down the back straightaway. Gray will find himself in the runner-up position. Ox coming through in the 23. Crawley down to the bottom into 1. Contact at the midway point of the back straightaway. Here comes Rick Main. Main turns it underneath the 79 entry of Dean Reynolds. 2 laps left to run. Your top 10 going through to the main event. Everybody else 11th on back will find themselves watching from the pit area. White flag is out for Craig Silvey. Silvey's got Ryland Gray all over the back of him down into turn number 3. Oh boy, a short slider. And Ryland Gray with a shorter slider you can do. Trying to fence Craig Silvey. Ryland Gray's going to get the win. Second will go to Craig Silvey. Landon Crawley third. Brian Orks, Rick Main going to round out your top 5. Dean Reynolds, Donald Toulos, Casey Simons, Christopher Schaefer, Andy Patton going to be your top 10. For the likes of Jeffrey Newbert, Stephen Lindo, Tracy Burns and Robert Crawley. Their nights are done. Let's take a look at your official B main results as the drivers have a few minutes of warm-up session. Ryland Gray will get the win from Craig Silvey, Landon Crawley, Brian Orks, Dean Reynolds, your top 5. Donald Toulos. Toulos. Casey Simons, Christopher Schaefer, Andy Patton and Jeffrey Newbert. Those drivers will be the top 10 for the likes of Rick Main, Stephen Lindo, Tracy Burns and Robert Crawley. 11, 12, 13 and 14 will find themselves watching as they will take no further part in this one. Here at the Dirt Track at Charlotte, we take a quick commercial break. Live right here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Coverage of the American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Cars live from the Dirt Track at Charlotte.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey, from the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White,
All right, we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of round number 13's American Dirt Series 360 Winged Sprint Cars, live tonight from Charlotte in North Carolina. The Dirt Track at Charlotte playing host to the penultimate round of the season. Next week we head to the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway for the final round and championship night to crown a champion. More than likely going to be Cameron Pritchard, but he's got to get through tonight. He's got to get through next week to be crowned your American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Car champion. Of course, they run Monday nights, 2-time slots. Of course, after this Monday night, seeing as though we are covering the final round of the 2023 Buck Kicker World of Outlaws Late Model Pro Qualifying Series Top Split. From the following Monday onwards, we will be covering that action, and I believe we might be covering both nights, both races. We're obviously in talks with the American Dirt Series, and of course on Wednesday nights we will be covering their wingless sprint car series as well. And then of course Friday nights once again, if they decide to put on another show like what you're seeing over the past couple of weeks, we'll of course be in talks with them in doing that one as well. Let's go main event racing from position number 22. It's Jeffrey Newman from position number 21. Andy Patton. Position number 20, it's Christopher Schaefer. Position number 19, Casey Simons. Donald Toulos out of position number 18. Dean Reynolds from position number 17. Position number 16, Brian Orks. Position number 15, Landon Crawley. Craig Selby, position number 13. Position number 12, Rylan Gray. Position number 12, Dustin Sargent. Chisholm Burns, position number 11. Position number 10, Kenny Hoffman. Matt Grimm from position number 9. Position number 8, it's Cody Malley. Position number 7, Brent Hobbs. Position number 6, Ernie Williams Jr. Position number 5, Eric Whitner. Position number 4, Nicholas McGeety. Position number 3, Heat 3 winner, Cameron Pritchard. And your front row for tonight's 30-lap main event, Heat number 2 winner from position number 2, Tommy Scott Jr. And on the pole for your 30-lap feature, driving car number 94, Greg Leonard. Round 13 of 14, American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars here at the Dirt Track at Charlotte. Let's get dirty for 30s. Your main event is underway. Anthony Leonard to go down to the bottom on the turn number 1. By the time he gets to turn 2 on the exit, he's up on the top side of the racetrack. Here comes Scott now looking for the slide job, looking for the race lead. Leonard into the wall. Lap number 1 belongs to Tommy Scott Jr. Leonard got some company with McGeety, Cameron Pritchard, Eric Whitner, all rolling the top side of the racetrack. We are yellow. And I don't think our replays are working either. So going off this one, Brian Orks in car number 23 is going to be the reason as to why that the caution flag flies for the first time in tonight's main event. Boy, so many storylines here. Dean Gertie, not here tonight. Is sitting second in the point standings. He is 57 points behind Cameron Pritchard, but he has got a 69-point lead over Greg Leonard in third. Patrick Spangler, who has had 1 win this season. And I want to say that came at the Knoxville Raceway. From memory, he sits 4th in the points. He is not here. Trevor Royer, not here. So 3 out of your top 5 drivers in the point standings are not here tonight. Of course, when it all becomes said and done, like I've already mentioned earlier on, Cameron Pritchard is 1 race away from clinching that title. And with Dean Gertie not here this evening, you would dare say that the title is going to be his regardless of what happens next week. Even if he wants to turn up and run last, mean, he could probably give himself the week off if he really wanted to, but I'm sure Pritchard would love to end it on a high. Single file restarts, 1 down, 29 to go. Let the racing ticker fix itself up. We go back green, we start lap 2. Again, it'll do this for an entire lap till we get to the 3rd lap. Leonard, Pritchard down to the bottom, down into turn number 3 and 4. See a lot of the drivers working on the top side of the racetrack. In fact, there is lap number 3. We go yellow one more time. So seeing Jeffrey Newbert involved in that one. I want to say Chisholm Burns as well. So Jeffrey Newbert, Dustin Sargent, Chisholm Burns as well. So just to mention a couple of drivers involved in a little scuffle here in your main event. So let's go through our top 10 we have. Five of your top 10 drivers here. So when it all comes down to the nitty gritty, it's all a battle for basically 4th on back. Pritchard here tonight. 57-point lead over Gertie. Gertie not here. He's got a 69-point gap back to Greg Leonard. And then Leonard has got a 20, make that 31-point gap back to Patrick Spangler. And then a near 40-point gap to Trevor Royer. He's got a 40-point gap to Nicholas McGeethy in 6th. With the way that how the point system works out, first place will grab you. Oh, if I can click on the right one. We go back green, 26 remaining. First place will grab you a total of 55 points. Green flag is out. We are back underway. Main event time here at the dirt track in Charlotte. Penultimate feature event on the season for the American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars. Look out, Nicholas McGeethy finding himself trying to get by Greg Leonard. Oh, here comes Cameron Pritchard all over the rear crash bar, all over the tail tank of the 04 machine entry of Tommy Scott Jr. McGeethy's found his way to the podium position. We go yellow just before they cross the start-finish line. And McGeethy might just have to give that spot back to Greg Leonard in the 94. Keep an eye on that one. We'll see what R-Racing tells them to. So that's going to be Cody Malley involved in that one. Landon Crawley also involved. So yes, you're looking at a 55-point win for the feature event. You don't get no points for heats or qualifying. 54 points for 2nd. And it's a drop back to 3rd. It must be 50 points because you must get points for leading the laps. Love to see how the point system actually works out. Yeah, 50 points for a win, 48 for second. Then it must be 2-point increments. Anyhow, nonetheless, points for maybe fastest lap time, maybe leading the most amount of laps. Now, there's a whole bunch of scenarios that we could go through. Here we go. 5 down, we go back live for 25. Make that 24. McGeethy trying to cut back down on the exit of turn number 2. That'll open up that outside line for the 17 entry of Eric Whitner to make his charge. towards the front of the field, although he sits in position 5, and he has now got Ernie Williams Jr. Williams is a man that loves to ride the cushion. He loves to go high, wide and handsome. He'll run up on top of the concrete wall. Scott still leads the way from Cameron Pritchard. Meanwhile, here goes Pritchard. He goes to the cushion. Scott throws the slider on himself. Now opens up the door for Pritchard. Pritchard goes down to the inside. Pritchard to the race lead now with 21 to go. 9 down. 1 lap away from 1/3 of the race distance being complete. Greg Leonard going down to the inside right through the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Leonard now going to find his way up to the runner-up position. We go yellow. So Scott going to find himself back in position number 2 after getting passed by Greg Leonard. Again, we did not complete the lap once he'd made the pass. And we go back to the time they passed the start-finish line there on the previous time. Which means, of course, sends us back to the last completed lap. Once we go back green, we'll officially have 10 in the books. And 20 laps left to run. So it hasn't been a dominating season for Cameron Pritchard. So your winners so far this season, Ryan Avila won, Clayton Davies won, Braden Miller won, Ross Kaiser won, Patrick Spangler won, Dean Gertie won, Mason Hannigan 2, Kenny Hoffman 2, and Cameron Pritchard 2. So if Pritchard wins this one, he will now have the most wins in the season. So 10 drivers have won feature wins so far this season. Will we see an 11th? Will we see a first-time feature in a maybe Greg Leonard? Maybe Tommy Scott Jr.? Nicholas McGeethy, can he go to victory lane? Can Eric Whitner find victory lane? Ernie Williams Jr., what has he got in the tank? Kenny Miller. Miller has found himself unable to pick up a feature win. In fact, it's Kenny Hoffman. I don't know where I was looking at Miller. Kenny Hoffman has got 2 along with Cameron Pritchard. So 2 drivers have both picked up 2 feature wins. I'm sure Pritchard, with the gap that he's got, a little over, or closing in now, a little over 1.1, now make it 1.2 seconds. With 17 to go, here comes Whitner on McGeethy. Now Williams down to the inside on McGeethy. Hobbs. And here comes Hoffman, 5-way battle now for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position. Oh, contact, Williams and McGeethy. And McGeethy's going to drive him straight into the wall. We go yellow. They were stuck together. And Williams McGeethy coming together on the front straightaway. Stuck all the way right up until turn number 1. And how about Craig Silby? We've seen him a couple of weeks ago. The last time we raced with the American Dirt Series at Wingsport, picked up a podium finish. And mind you, had to do it the hard way. So I'm pretty sure he came from about 14th or 15th. In fact, he come from 10th. But that night, he actually won the B main. So just 4 cautions last week at Weedsport. It's a tricky little track, the Weedsport Speedway. And of course here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Big, wide, open racetrack, plenty of room. And I'm sure Silby would love to build off a podium Just a couple of weeks ago to back it up once again. Although the man out in front, Cameron Pritchard, there's a reason he is your points leader in the season. 2 wins. He's been so consistent throughout the back half of the season from when we picked it up. Halfway home, once we go back green, 15 down, 15 to run. Pritchard will wait and wait and wait, and it's a nice, constant, steady pace. And we're back underway, your main event, halfway home. In your American Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars, how does Tommy Scott hold off the challenge from Greg Leonard in the 94? Easy, Leonard goes into the wall, Whitner tags to the tail tank of the 94, turns him around. So Whitner into the back of the 94, sending the 94 of Leonard around. So a few things to look at on that one. With, of course, Leonard getting into the wall. Was there enough time for Whitner to avoid the contact? Again, we let race control deal with the situation at hand. We certainly don't want to be in their shoes at the moment. So we still roll around the dirt track at Charlotte. Lights are still on. To the green for the moment. Just while race control look at the situation as to why we are under yellow. We let them make that decision. And next time off turn 4, the 21 of Cameron Pritchard will find himself 13 laps away from picking up the most wins this season. Looking for 3 feature wins. So Whitner going to hold on to his 3rd position. Lights are out. Safety car. The pace truck pulls infield. That is a safety car. YarRacing.com official pace car. 17 down, 13 to go. Tommy Scott, Eric Whitner, Kenny Huffman, Brent Hobbs, all trying to run down your race leader of Cameron Pritchard. Whitner cops a big slider there from Kenny Huffman. And two out of the 3 drivers that have found 2 feature wins this season. The 1 machine of Kenny Huffman and the 21 of Cameron Pritchard. They are now 1st and 3rd. So work down into turn number 3 and 4. Whitner now going to give up the podium position, although we go yellow just as we'll come to the start-finish line. Yellow comes out, which means we freeze the lap. And does Whitner get his spot back? Again, going back to the last recorded lap. So lights are still on. go to 12. Once we go back green, it'll be 11 to go. Back underway. Hoffman is now in pursuit of Tommy Scott Jr. Scott will slide up. 2/3 of your feature race is now officially done. We go to 10 to run. Hoffman with a slider on Scott. Scott turns it underneath him. Whitner watching this battle unfold right in front of his very eyes. Now single-digit laps to go. And it's the drivers first and second that have both picked up 2 feature wins this season. Hoffman 1.2, 1.3 seconds away from your race leader. Has he got time to run him down? I want to say no, because unless we see a caution, I don't think anyone is going to stop Cameron Pritchard on getting feature win number 3 out of the 13 weeks. The 13 machine of Jeffrey Newett gets put a lap down. Third place is still the 04 of Tommy Scott Jr. Back to Eric Whitner in fourth. Plus 9 positions is Craig Silby in the 7 machine. Biggest mover through the field is the number 54 of Casey Simon. Started 19th. He is plus 13 up to 6. Oh, look out. Big movers and shakers coming through the field. Still keeping an eye on that gap for the race lead. Oh, look out, Hobbs. Upside down. The yellow is going to come out. And Pritchard, who had a 2.1 second lead, that now gets taken away as Brent Hobbs in the 64 brings on the caution. And now that puts the 1 of Kenny Hoffman right up on the rear crash bar and the tail tank of the 21 machine. And things are about to pick up. Things are really getting interesting here at the dirt track at Charlotte. So 2 to green. Who's excited for new build? I know I am. We'll get the 1 to green signal from Race Control and Barnaby, our racing flagman. There it is, lights are out. Pritchard is 4 laps away. Or is Kenny Hoffman? Which one of these potential 2 drivers will find 3 feature wins this season? Ken Whitner, can he grab one? Will Tommy Scott or Craig Silby find their way and find some speed? Hoffman trying to predict the start from the 21 of Cameron Pritchard, but Pritchard 0.3 of a second gap down into turn number 1. Keep an eye on the 1 machine of Hoffman as they work down the back straightaway. Pritchard looks nice and smooth, keeping it nice and straight up on the top side. Gets into the concrete wall not once but twice. 3 laps left to run. Hoffman is closing in as they work down the back straightaway. Now it's 0.2 of a second, so he's picked up a 10th. Hoffman, when does the trigger get pulled for the slide job? Not yet. Will he throw it in 3 and 4? Hoffman has given that chance up. He got into the wall in turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, penultimate time. Hoffman slide job, big one on Cameron Pritchard. Pritchard has found his way back to the front. White flag is out. 1 final time around the dirt track at Charlotte. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Round 13 of 14. Oh boy! Contact between Hoffman and Pritchard. And Whitner's going to steal victory. Silby, Scott. Oh my! you couldn't script it if you tried. Unbelievable. The feature race results coming up. Eric Whitner gets the win from Craig Silby, and Tommy Scott will still wrap up the podium. Casey Simons will grab fourth. Matt Grimm will be home in fifth. Oh, you could not script that one if you tried. Let's go right down into victory lane and chat with your winner here tonight, piloting car number 17. And he must have, certainly, go buy yourself a lottery ticket. Eric Whitner with the win. Eric, boy, you were sitting third with 2 and 1 to go. And all of a sudden, things just played in your hands. Stuff happened up the front, and you stroll on by for a victory.
Yeah, I really fell into that one. I knew Cam and Kenny being 1-2 going in the last corner, something was going to happen. Whether they drove away from it or not was to be seen. So I was looking for it. I just got lucky with splitting the waters right there.
Man, it certainly looked to be a tough racetrack out there. I got to say the cushion didn't look as gnarly as what I'm used to seeing here at Charlotte. It looked like it was nice and smooth and wasn't as bumpy. I mean, how did you see it from the cockpit of your car?
Yeah, it was much smoother than a little bit ago. I mean, there was that month ago where that update came out where they smoothed out the cushion a little bit. Definitely not as bumpy as it used to be, and it holds quite nicely now. You could really drive it in hard, and there's not as many bumps and ruts.
Well, congratulations here on the win tonight. Your first of the season. It's been a 13-week season. Not sure how many you've made, but you're sitting 13th in the points, and you get that first feature win. I'm sure there's a lot of sponsors on this car, a lot of great people behind the scenes that made this possible for you.
Yep, I got to thank Nitro Circus Sim Racing, Next Level Racing, Racecraft Academy, and Zach Knowles Design. Of course, you for putting on the broadcast, and the ADS guys for running the league.
All right, buddy. Will we see you back at I-55 next week?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you back then, buddy.
Thank you.
Eric Whitner, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight. Well, a couple of weeks ago in Weed Sport, the last round, or what was round 12 of the series, he podiumed at Weed Sport Speedway after winning the B main. He now backs it up with another podium here tonight here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Craig Silby. Craig, well, the last 2 weeks in a row, you found yourself on podiums. You must be starting to get used to this one, but albeit a little late in the season.
Oh yeah, I found the series late, and I've only been in it for a few rounds, and yeah, coming through from the B main, I made it hard for myself. It was really tough out there.
Tonight, again, you had to do well. You done it the easy way. You locked straight into the. No, you started 14th actually. Again, that's 2 B mains now where you found 2 podiums. Is that the key for you on trying to finish up front of a B main to get a podium potentially?
Oh man, from the driver's seat when you're looking up ahead at 13 cars in front of you that are absolutely elbows out, and yeah, it was just a matter of trying to see where they're going to crash and dive away from that.
Now, this racetrack was pretty slick from top to bottom. There wasn't a whole lot of grip, a whole lot of moisture left in this racetrack. Where were you set up for tonight?
I was just set up to try and just be smooth everywhere. Like I thought it was going to run the top, and I felt pretty comfortable at the top. It was real sketchy with the guys in front of you, like bashing and crashing. You don't know, and myself, if you grab the wall, you get stuck against it and spat off it, and we're all running so close together. It's just one slight thing, and then 3-4 of you crash. So I just got lucky and managed to miss that.
Well, mate, congratulations on what has been back-to-back podiums for yourself in this number 7 machine. Craig, before we let you go, of course, sponsors on this car, people on the scenes who gets this done for you.
Oh, thanks again, Brett. United, Ultimate Dirt TV, and for putting this on, and American Dirt Series for the show, and those guys are up against it tonight. There was a bit of sketchy stuff going on, and Iridium Sim Sports, Easy Trucks New Zealand, Concut New Zealand, and all the other guys for showing up and racing hard. It was real tough out there. Thanks.
There we go, guys. Craig Silby with your third place finish here tonight. And of course, that will wrap up your post-race coverage. Of course, Tommy Scott not here with us, so we can't do anything with that one. But that will do it for us here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Round number 13 is done. Penultimate round of the series is complete. Next week, season finale at the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway to crown a champion. It's more than likely going to be Cameron Pritchard. In fact, let's wait for the point standings to update. So just bear with me for about another 4.5 seconds. And I'll get the updated points just to let everybody know where people are. So Pritchard with a 66-point lead over Dean Gertie. So that will wrap up the championship. As we've already said, so far we've seen maximum 55 points. So even if he want, all he would have to do next week was just make the main event, and he will be confirmed here no matter what, and no matter regardless of the result. Greg Leonard more than likely, Dean Gertie more than likely going to hold on to a second spot on the podium for the season standing. Greg Leonard in third, Nicholas McGeethy, Kenny Hoffman. Those drivers round out the top 5. So it's all on the line for the drivers outside of the top 2. There's still a lot of racing to come next week at the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway. But until then, the next time you'll see us here on Ultimate Dirt TV, Monday night, 8:45 Eastern, your 2023 iRacing World of Outlaws Butt Kicker Late Model Pro Qualifying Series Top Split Final Week, right here at this very racetrack, the Dirt Track at Charlotte, to find out which 20 drivers will get their invitation, will get their World Championship license to compete in the Pro World Late Model Championships. You'll find out on who will take out the final week of Top Split competition. But until then, on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and the management behind the scenes, I'm Brett Wheeler signing off saying good night. We'll see you Monday.